Okay, so I was actually gonna do my usual thing of just loading in and starting it there, but I got this on the load screen, and I feel like the game is trying to cheer me up. Also, I want you to look very closely because Malroth is wearing a pink suit in this image. You can actually put him in the suit. I'm not too sure if I'm going to do that or not because I don't know if there's a way to restore his original clothes if you do that. Because I don't think they're an item that you can actually get. But I figured let's start this on a high note because we're certainly not going to be... I was going to say ending it on a high note, but we're not going to be anything on a high note here. It involves the use of switches to change Malroth's clothing back to normal? Oh, alright. Oh yeah, Pi, request. Go ahead and put the mini medal and treasure locations in the Discord for me. So we can get that over with once we're finished with this nonsense. Also, yeah, we were here before and I took, I think, wheat seeds out of that chest. So, fun little fact, apparently the actual normal bombs you get from Crumble Dun work on Moonbrooke's castle. So, there's gonna be like a little bonus video of FU Moonbrooke where I blow up the entire gate and castle to bits out of pure unending spite. But as I said, you have to glide out and don't touch the whirlwind. You know, I hadn't actually thought of that, but I think I am gonna do that. I'm not too mad at the king anymore, but I'm still kinda mad at the king, so you know what? Well, I didn't care that it was in French, I cared about the fact that it didn't clearly show you where things were on the map. So the one you did give me last time was actually better than what I normally use, so... Well, I'm not completely soul drained this time. I actually had time to rest and recover and brace myself for this. I'm still not gonna like this, but I mean... I'm not running off misery, so... They call this the beacon, but it's more like a lighthouse. Very, very tall lighthouse. There actually is a treasure around here somewhere. I'm trying to remember where precisely it is. Maybe right here? It was in fact right here. O hero who doth come in need, surrender not unto thy greed. Thou shalt not find here what thou seekest, only pain and peril pleagest. Okay. I don't know what that means. Like, legitimately, I don't know what that means because it's not true. Apparently I picked up a yellow light box. You can't drop down there to get into the proper area, but what you're supposed to do, keep walking across. You get this little marked spot. And of course, when you open the door, there's a trap right here. Press the button, you get bonked off. You just fall into the water, so it doesn't really matter. It's more kind of an annoying thing than anything else. I think that the pathway is actually down here in the water. This is the exact same spot you'd get to if you just dropped from the square where the little hair is. You might be up higher if you drop from the hair, but either way, it doesn't really matter what way you take. Yeah, I have no idea what that sign is supposed to mean. So my best guess from that is that green bounces you the highest. You can look up and see there's no roof right here, so... Green is probably a dyed spring, I bet. I wonder. It's probably protected as camera. Not actually protected. Huh. What is this called? Trampoline and Zoompoline. Okay. Well, now that I've picked it up, I have one? I'll see if this is exactly as annoying as it looks. Yep. I stuck to the ceiling there. Mimic? Or whatever. I don't care what the actual name of the monster is. They're the Mimic family. Apparently that's what that sign is for, though. I've never actually found this second area. Oh, bye, Nessa. Apparently there's a bunch of little treasure areas around here you can get into. So that's what that sign meant, because some of these are traps. I guess? Well, that's the only, like, actual treasure I know that's here, so I don't really care too much to keep looking around. Yeah, mimics are bad news. I don't think I actually have a bed on me, so, it doesn't really matter because, Anessa got a full heal. I didn't actually know the cutscene would do that. I knew the cutscene would yank her back up to where I was, so I didn't feel any obligation to wait for her. But I didn't realize it would fully heal her as well. So this is why dodging attacks is biggest pain in the butt. Not even MMO raid bosses have that kind of tracking. No. Depends on the attack, I guess. Alright, it's dead. No, open it. And we got a seed of life and the orb power. This is why I was always really confused when it said that you wouldn't find the treasure you wanted, because I was like, well, but I will! It's right here! But apparently there's multiple rooms besides just the one with the hair that have mimics, I guess. Hey, Nessa kind of has a good point. This is a really suspicious sort of place to put something. Have our HP and then head back to base. No, it's just not. I'll go ahead and store all this crap, I guess. Oh, y'all finished it pretty quickly. Neither is that. Fanfare just falls flat without Malroth to high-five us. Hopefully it'll kill all of you. What? What? Just imagine Nick's builder as being like physically manhandled away from Malroth and the most passive aggressive about everything. Yeah, let's go put this stupid orb. This stupid tower. Hawk. I will say at least they're constantly asking, but I mean, it's still just... I mean, technically the cannon doesn't have anywhere for physical bullets. It's more of a power sort of cannon, but I mean, we could pull a hole powered by a Forsaken Child and drain all of their life force away to fire the cannon, right? That'd be fine. I never get to commit mass murder of the people who have wronged me. We could just, you know, overtune it a bit and solve all of our problems at once, but no. Also, this is gonna be another item that we use once here in Moonbrooke and then never again. I mean, I could just bury them in Moonanan for a little while and then come get them. Oh, worst thing! Like, Atlas killed everybody. Shame, shame. So, let's go back to the Isle, yeah? Oh no, we can keep it! It's just not any use outside of this chapter. Oh, I thought you could use it. There wasn't any point to using it was the problem. Also, Pi actually pointed out that she read this and I thought it was another good take on the chapter. Another of the main problems with the chapter is that the monsters are basically non-existent emotionally. In the other chapters, they were actually a threat. They were actually a problem. They were the thing you built up against and you felt emotions against. And here, they might as well be cardboard cutouts. They could be literally any monster in anything. You could replace them with literally anything, and it wouldn't change a solitary thing about the chapter, because all the antagonism comes from the NPCs, not the monsters. Like, obviously, mechanically, you're building up to fight the monsters. And plot-wise, you're doing all this to fight the monsters, but emotionally, investment-wise, the monsters mean nothing. Everything that you have a problem with, that you get upset about, or that you have emotional feelings for, are the NPCs, and not in good ways most of the time. That was actually something that I hadn't thought about, that I thought whoever Pi had read had nailed right on the head. Yeah, the monsters might as well be cardboard cutouts. Like, I have felt more emotion towards the floating eyes in Terraria than I have with any of the monsters in this chapter. See, no, Mav, they're not even that. Because at least random encounters give you something. They'll level you up or they'll drop items for you. So they at least have some kind of emotional purpose, even if it's very minor. They don't here. I will say that I am almost fairly certain we saw Atlas mentioned at least once before all of this went down. But yeah, basically it's just a boss rush chapter. And so because you have, what was it? 5 bosses, none of them get any kind of build-up. They're just dominoes for you to reach over and flick down, and that's it. Need to get 5 iron broadswords. Broadswords. Or... It really just goes back into my original point that there's just this being the combat chapter just doesn't work. There's an overload of everything in this chapter. Not everything. There's an overload of combat in this chapter, and then you have 5 of the boss fights. You're just exhausted. You're like, oh my god, just stop. Apparently there's 5 in the chest. I'm gonna grab the steel. I guess everyone's already equipped. I might be thinking of the appearance of the player, actually. But that's actually, that's not a bad comparison, Mav. They're not, maybe not quite as you intended. See, Dragon Ball Z can get away with a bunch of boss characters because it's a game that is focused, or a game, an anime that's focused around fighting. Like, fighting is the whole point of that series. But the point of this series is to build, and as I've said before, and will continue saying, combat is the absolute worst part of this game. It is the worst mechanic, and it is just terrible to try to play. And then you come to this chapter and they spring 5 boss fights on you, not a single one of which is even remotely memorable because it's 5 bosses in a single chapter. How in the world are you supposed to feel any sort of anything when they're basically just harder to kill cannon fodder? Oh, I needed to bring 2 more steel broadswords. I thought she'd only need 3. Like, I won't necessarily say that we needed comic relief, because comic relief is clearly not what this chapter is about. I do feel like, when well done, comic relief relieves the tension so that it can be built right back up. So it's kind of important to do. But I mean, the absence of comic relief itself isn't a huge, major problem. As I said, the problem is just... yeah. Balance, sanity. Heart's a good way to put it. It just... there's no feelings from anything that's going on. You don't feel for the Moonbrooke soldiers because they're stupid and in quite a few cases actively antagonistic. You don't feel for any of the bosses in any way because, as I said, they're basically just harder to kill random mobs. There's nothing important or interesting or built up about them. The only thing... I think the only time I've ever felt any actual emotion was with Malroth's degradation in Moonanan and with Esther. And of course there's the bad emotions when Malroth gets locked up, because why even? But that I don't consider... but that admittedly mostly came from outside of the game, but I haven't actually felt anything for any of this chapter, just annoyance and frustration. The first part was alright. In the first part I did have at least some feelings about it, but... I think I felt more actual emotion from games without plots than I felt from the majority of Moonbrooke. Rabbit. Yeah. I still hold to the fact that they had a good base. And if they had just changed a couple things, then it wouldn't- then they could have made it work without any, like, super major reworks. Have the reason Malroth got locked up be the fact that he seriously injured the builder. It was accidental and he didn't mean to do it, but he did it, and that would actually give the builder a reason to be kind of wary about him and not, like, immediately break him out of prison. Because, like, there's no reason for us to not break him out of prison right now. But if Malroth was actually a threat to us and actually hurt us, no matter how much we would trust him, there would still be an element of essentially primal distrust there. We would still be kind of afraid of him. And then Malroth himself could justify being in the cell, and might even actually... You could even have it... Yeah. You could even have it where it was he who requested you make the cell. Because everyone's looking at him horrifically because he hurt you, everyone in the castle's terrified because he hurt you, and Malroth's being consumed with guilt for it. So you could be like, I don't know what's wrong with me. Like, Nyx, just, can you make something where you can put me away for a little while where I won't be in danger to, or I won't be a danger to everyone. Then just make all of them, make, like, everyone in Moonbrooke much nicer to you and not acting like you're scum on the bottom of their shoe. Not acting like you're a subordinate or their serf to obey their orders. If you do that, that would probably basically save the chapter. I mean, I would still say that all of the enemies actually need to be dropped, like, the robot enemies need to have, like, maybe 2/3 of the HP they do, maybe half. Yeah, see, there would be another option as well, Pi. Especially because that would still allow what's going to happen to happen. Because what they're going to do is they're just going to all Malroth needs to be is separate from the builder. That's it. That's literally all it really needs to be. I mean, of course, you would have to do some smaller reworks to make some other stuff work properly if he is just separate from the builder like that, but it's not difficult to make that work. Really not. I also think you're right about the other part as well, Pi. The fact that another of the major issues is they just get stuck in constantly whining about the exact same thing. A thing you really legitimately have no reason to care about because it's not present. You have at best been worded at about it. And being worded at is not a way to make somebody care about something. That's how novels work, but this is not a novel. God, fighting on Fighting underwater is horrific. You thought just fighting in general was bad? Welcome to fighting underwater, which is absolutely miserable because every single solitary thing you do takes twice as long to do. Yes, this is gonna be like last time where I just complained the whole way through. And I apologize for anyone who that annoys, but I literally can't think of a single positive thing to say about what's going on right now. The cannons are cool. These little orbs are cool. That's all I got. I actually don't want to build anything. Because building something takes time and effort, and I don't want to give any more of that to this chapter. I just want to be done with this. I just want to leave. So anything that requires even slightly more time or effort from me, I don't want to do. I'm usually too mad by the time it's over to keep them, but somebody else that I was reading in those posts made a good point, and I'm gonna take them with me this time. Because the dude was like, nobody gets to keep shinies I worked hard for, especially if I don't even like the people. I have no idea what in the world Jeremiah is doing. I might not know what I'm gonna use these shinies for, but dang it, they're mine. That's not a bad idea. Ooh, if you make the castle like super big this time, I could put them on top of like 3 sections of the castle to make like a triangle with the orbs. That'd be kind of cool. Also note the king is specifically calling it the lighthouse, not the beacon. Interesting. So what the king is talking about is stuff that's actually in the original Dragon Quest II. And in fact, it's part of what Mav mentioned, that Gwaelin's Gate serves as the connecting dungeon. So the king's knowing things he feels like he shouldn't know, even though that's what actually happened. And this island, which is called Moonbrooke, does not appear to actually be how Moonbrooke is supposed to be. Something's not going right here. I mean, a lot of things are not right here, but something specifically about this seems to be off. No, it's not, Warwick. It's right there. You blind or something? Also, I feel like I really should be getting excited about a giant magic cannon, but all I can think of is, well, I'm not going to be able to actually do anything with this once we finish the chapter, so... Yeah, I'm trying to get what small amount of joy I can squeeze out of the rock that is the rest of this chapter. Esther? He was talking from somewhere over there, right? I don't actually see her. I think they might have accidentally entombed her in the bottom of the cannon. Oh no. This, by the way, is why I told you to never build anything towards the dock, because all these cannons are gonna go in this place. Also, man, imagine how much power this would have if Malroth was helping us! Oh, thank goodness. Yeah, I fully agree with that. To be fair, I think they actually did that in Crumble Dun as well. I'm pretty sure you can't break those blocks where the bars are until they take them down. So it's just this chapter that didn't do that. Again! Like, if all of... Like, it's not even just story consistency, all this mechanic inconsistency as well. If that doesn't prove that this chapter was half-assed, I don't know what will. Yay! We got a thing we're never gonna be able to use outside of this chapter! Again! So there's one major problem I have with this war banner. Yeah, it goes in your weapon slot. You can't just have it on your hotbar so that you can still help with the fighting. It goes into your weapon slot. And I've complained about helping with the fighting before, and I've mostly sat back and let the NPCs do it, but there's a difference between standing back and letting the NPCs doing it and being legitimately helpless unless you shuffle weapons. And I don't like... And it's a minor thing, it's a very minor thing, but it's buried in all the slog that is this crap, so I still hate it. So equip the war banner. Spinning slice, which calls every single fighting soldier to your side. Or supposed to, I don't know what in the world those two royal guards are doing. I don't know what Zara is doing there either. Maybe they're just kind of dispersing because I'm by the blueprint. I'm gonna be quite frank, I don't imagine hell can be any worse than whatever we've already gone through. Just... why? There's no reason for this. What makes you laugh? Also, I don't know if that name means anything, but Mav can tell us. Actually, that's a good point! Honestly, this is probably the one segment of the fighting that's not miserable. I'm pretty sure I actually do have... Okay, the royal guards are just not going to come with me. Alright. Bunch of jerks. Okay, where are we going? We need to go all the way over here, so... time for a run! Also, I should actually check what level I learned the final level up blueprint from. Recipe, sorry. So that I know when I can... well, so I know what I need to grind to. So why don't you just, like, block off the tunnel? If you know where everything is coming from here, why don't you just wall in the tunnel, like, 20 thick with castle bricks? Yeah. Basically what it said, if you touch them with the war banner, they get stronger. I will say, for all my whining about the war banner, I actually do wish you could use it. It would actually be really nice if you could just take a squad of people to like the Explorer Shores and war banner them and have them all beat up the bosses for you. But you can only ever have 4 people in your party, including yourself, with your actual assigned party, so you'll never have enough NPCs to actually make this worthwhile. Even if the banner did, like, work. Blow it up? If you can't wall in with castle bricks, just blow up the cave and close it off. There's plenty of destruction things they could do, but nah, children Hargon, anyway. I'm just salty, I will fully accept it. I'm just salty and upset and I want to be done with this piece of crap already. What do you think is the matter, Einstein? That's also the irritating thing. They're like, what's wrong? Why are you constantly distracted? What are you thinking about? What do you think? You locked up our best friend. What do you think is the problem, bozo? So this is the main reason why Malroth needed to be separate from the builder. The, talking at 2 frames per second voice is going to be emotionally manipulating and twisting him here. But with how much he's already been struggling the entire chapter, you literally didn't have to lock him up. This would still have worked if he was just on the Isle of Awakening or hidden somewhere. Especially because anybody who has never actually suffered emotional manipulation, that stuff can go really deep. If you have enough time and you know where to hit to get your claws in, you can literally make something out of nothing. So they're like, this was not required for this manipulation of Malroth by any stretch of the means. Especially because Malroth's already severely mentally weakened from what's been going on in Moonbrooke. You didn't need to do this to make this work. Yeah! Okay, I can almost talk about my theory on Raw's Mirror, but we're not quite there yet. Okay, buddy, come on! We don't have all day! Come on! Talk faster than the sloth in Zootopia! Yeah, one second. I got something to do here. Dang it, hold still, Oric! Not counted as a solid object, so I can't actually bury him. There's a lot of marble here. How much marble do I actually have? 500? I'm pretty sure one of the explorer shores of this is going to be infinite marble, so... Don't think I really gotta care. The attempt made me feel a little bit better, at least. Okay, good. Also, marble isn't actually necessary for anything we're going to have to do before the shore is unlocked, so I don't really see a point to get more than what I have. Even if I do need to use marble for something, I've got plenty to deal with it. Yeah, exactly! Ooh, canes. I'm gonna have to cut that out because I muted the wrong thing. Oh well, it's not like any of this is like engaging gameplay right now. Who's ready to see hell? I don't need to break this, I can just jump over it. Yeah, welcome to hell? There's actually 3 treasures here, and I don't want to have to come back to this place, so we're... Forget where they are. There's also 3 mini metal shrines here that I need to make sure I can hit. But first, you absolutely want to glide way over here because that marked spot is an Avaglobe. Or I thought it was. There is an Avaglobe here somewhere. I'm just not sure where. Dun dun dun. Oh yeah, this whole world is an illusion. This is all crafted. This is not the real world. And apparently this was actually used before in Dragon Quest II, the original, to trick Scions of Erdrick. And this is the last piece of information you need to kind of piece together what's going on. So I'll give you a minute to think about it and figure it out. Oh, the Naviglobe is just right over here. Okay, so... First one is actually just right past this way. Also, just to show, if you try to break the roses, you don't get the roses. You need something else to actually get those. This is a really nice place, though. Like, seriously, look at all this pretty foliage. So, have you figured it out yet? Hargon built this place to trick the Scions of Erdrick, but we have a kid named Malroth here. Well, not technically a kid, everyone is implied to be fully grown, so a man named Malroth who doesn't have any memories, doesn't know why he's there, and who keeps being called the Master of Destruction. So what's going on is that it's clear that somebody, most likely the voice that keeps digging into Malroth's head, has taken over Hargon's illusion to bring Malroth's spirit here? It's not really clear what part of the Malroth our Malroth is supposed to be. Here's our first treasure. But we do know, but for those who don't know, Malroth was the final boss of Dragon Quest II. He was the god of destruction that Hargon summoned, that the Scions of Erdrick, well, killed. They're heroes. He's an evil god of destruction. Kinda their job to do that. But that voice has been constantly calling our Malroth the god of destruction. And with the name and the fact he can't create and all of this, it's pretty clear he is also the Malroth. So the question becomes, why is he here in the form of this elven man? And who was it that brought him here? Alright, that's treasure 2. No, that's treasure 3, probably. Yeah, it's treasure. Because that's the caterpillar's butt. Where's treasure two? It would be right here. But now this leads me to Ra's mirror. There it is. I believe the reason Ra's mirror was blank when you put it up in front of Malroth was because whoever brought him into this illusion did not want Ra's mirror to reflect anything for him. Because if it reflected him, if it just reflected Malroth as he was, then that couldn't be later used to emotionally manipulate him. If it reflected who he really was, that would give up the game too early and could land Malroth in a lot of trouble with all the soldiers, and I did not advance that. I don't know what happened there. So it just reflected a void because whoever brought Malroth here wanted it to reflect a void. Yeah, you're right, it is more than implied. Since they're so chibi, I just keep forgetting. I do kind of wish that they had made, like, non-chibi for your characters, but oh well. Also, what's revealed, Mav? And what's your theory, Pi? That is all three of the treasures in this area, and I think combined with the picture I got and the bunny plush I got, that's all the treasures in Moonbrooke in general. Actually, I should not do this. I'm pretty sure when I trigger what happens in the castle, I'm gonna get warped back to Moonbrooke, so let me go ahead and find the mini metal shrines that are here. Interesting. Okay. I do actually have to go across the bridge to get this one. But that's okay because I don't have to trigger anything in here. Just yeah, you're right. That is in fact revealed at the very beginning of this game. So I don't know why I was ever coy with the Dragon Quest II spoilers in that case. But yeah, so this world is an illusion that Hargon created to try and trick the Scions of Erdrick. And for some reason, the God of Destruction Malroth is here in the form of an amnesic young man with a voice in his head that seems to be trying to get the actual Malroth to wake up. So the question becomes, who is the voice? Why is he doing this? Like, to what end is he doing this for? I don't remember ever doing this puzzle. I wonder if... I feel like I've absolutely skipped this in every other playthrough I've done, which is kind of... That actually... To be fair, this is canonly post... Well, I say canonly. Oh, I don't know why I'm matching it to this. I need to match it to that side. Only move these two. Actually needs... Okay. You pink then, maybe? Anyway, what I was trying to say is that it might not be like canon... No, that needs to be orange. Okay, I'm really confused as to what this wants from me. Because if I make that orange, that does not in fact match this side. So it's gotta be a pattern of some kind. That's okay, that's also correct, so it's not. Yeah, I legitimately can't see what this is, so just go ahead and tell me what it is. I'm not gonna sit here for 20 minutes trying to figure it out. Because I know there's very clearly some kind of pattern here. But I can't see what it is. This would take way too long for me to figure out than I'm willing to do on stream. Oh. Oh, yeah, actually you're right, yeah. But no, that doesn't hold because that is in the correct place and that is in the correct place. So there is supposed to be 2 oranges there. But what color goes there? Pink, probably? Yeah, I don't know. Oh. Okay, it looks like... Okay, I think I actually figured it out. It looks like pink and orange swap positions. Because it's orange, pink, white, orange, pink, white, and then over here on the other one, it's pink, orange, white, pink, orange, white. So I guess orange and pink swapped? I guess? I still don't get it. Well, the thing is, Mav, is that that pattern doesn't match. Because the white doesn't move in the pattern. So only part of the pattern is flipped, which is why I was really confused. Because see, orange, pink, white, and then pink, orange, white. So the pattern wasn't, like, moved down one step, it wasn't rotated or anything, just one part of the pattern got flipped, which is kind of odd. But the whites are in the... I don't know. I don't know. I'm done with pattern recognition. Okay, for this one I'm actually gonna have to walk back to the It's a neat little shrine, I like it. I'm just really bad with pattern recognition. Like that. Especially because when I look at stuff like that, it just kinda all bleeds into one thing. That's why I sometimes have such trouble with figuring out those patterns. Because the more variety in the pattern, the more all of it just kind of bleeds together into one mash for me. This is an easy one. Have to put that there. We don't. And this can. Was 1 too forward for that? Absolutely, Maverick. We absolutely do. I see where the other one is now. It's back over, I think? Yeah, the map looks like it's somewhere in this corner. Should be right here. Right about... I have to... Yeah, I'm gonna have to climb up to get to that. That is not huge. God, I love having maps on hand to figure out where to find some of this stuff. Up we go, up, up we go. Oh, interesting. Go away. Oh, and actual one, the pots need to be by the door. But there. Oh, no, they would. This would go right there. Now I can... Boxes. Proper place. That was not the proper place. Yeah, I don't think I've ever actually hit these mini metal shrines before. Alright, so that is the 3 mini metal shrines here in Dark. Woohoo! Now we never have to come back to this place. Go ahead and put away most of this stuff to get it. Okay, let's go to the castle now. Oh, you might be right. I'm on the exact wrong side of it. I'll go snag that once we're done here with the castle. Yeah, you'd have like a long line of Windbreaker soldiers, which I find kind of funny. Let's actually check out this Middenhall castle after see what it was that map said. Illusion version of the Hall of Hargon. Interesting. Oh hey, there's a puppy! Hello, puppy! Yeah, I'd call this humble, alright. Sure? Okay. That was a thing. At the item store? Just imagine Nick's here going, Thank you. I actually really like Render Arc. This is actually probably my favorite spot in Moonbrooke. Unless your prince randomly spouted tits, dude, I think you got the wrong person. I don't think there's anything about. It does? There's something about a fire. That's a fountain I just jumped in. Like, out. Get on the other side of this, so let's knock this person over here first. That just opens out void. That's true, they are just meant to basically be stand-ins for the people who are actually there. Also, I think this is actually a full-on reference to Dragon Quest II. I think the Banishing Bell was something that the Prince of Middenhall needed to find. That was one of my soldiers. Interesting, so Hargon merged himself with the goddess? And if you ever do like a full-on Dragon Quest II Let's Play Mav, I'm gonna have to link it in the description for these videos. Be like, you probably are gonna want to watch this before you actually watch this. Or at least, if you want to know what the heck is going on, watch this. Okay, Hargon, do we need to have a talk? I might need to kink shame here. Also, I'm pretty sure this is keeping the coding, for lack of a better term, for the prince, because we never said a thing about Hargon. Yeah, everyone thinks we're the Prince of Middenhall. Yep, they're empty. If you didn't think they would be empty, I don't know what to tell you. I kind of want to know if the castle was this ruined. in the Hall of Hargon illusion. Everything Yorick's castle has to offer, so let's go talk with the king. Yeah! Like, if you make it public on YouTube, I'll gladly link to it. People can actually see, like, what was going on. There's actually more to the castle. Maybe? Okay, not significantly more. There doesn't appear to be actually any here. Yeah, and unfortunately, because it's such an early RPG, it's not clear that I... I dig it. I kind of want to question the King of Biddenhall for this. And a part of me kind of hopes this is Hargon's doing, but at the same time, kind of hopes that it's not. Also, I have not actually saved in a while. I should really fix that. I think somebody broke the king. Well, okay then. Hello. So all the monsters are gonna die and they know it, apparently. Yeah, Warwick isn't in a fighting stance, even though he did draw his sword. Oh, what a shock! Warwick's the traitor. So I will say this actually did kind of surprise me when I first played through. When I actually got to this and they mentioned the traitor, I was like, wait, it can't be Anessa, that's too obvious. So is it Warwick? But like, the only reason I ever guessed it was Warwick is because he was literally the only named character where it wouldn't be blatantly obvious if he was the traitor. Like, Jerome or Jeremiah or whatever might have been one that could have been more suspected. I guess there was sort of hints that Warwick was the traitor because of how he acted at times, or at least they were supposed to be hints. Like, my guess is that, like, how he was, like, freaked out about death, and then he went and rallied back up. The way he was talking about how it was all Anessa and whatever. I guess these were supposed to be hints, but... yeah, I did notice that. Really, I think that was probably the only thing that was a real blatant sort of hint. The rest of Warwick's dialogue... the problem is... yeah, I did notice that. I think the main problem with this is that even if Warwick was foreshadowed, it's completely impossible to tell because the writing in the chapter is so bad. Like, what is actually foreshadowing and what's just poor writing? I legitimately couldn't tell you. Foreshadowing doesn't really work when, like, the actual script of your chapter is so inconsistent that everybody is acting off and out of character. But yeah, I did notice that this time, Pi, and I think I mostly just shrugged it off the first time I played, because I just assumed it was more shitty writing. It's like, oh, I guess they just messed up the writing there again. And of course, hilariously, Warwick turns into the one thing I have a weapon that is super effective against. While I'm not all that fond of the Nostalgia Critic for certain reasons, I think he put it best. A good twist has to be something that people can foresee. If everybody in the elevator turned into snowmans of George Takei, that would be a twist that he wouldn't be able to see coming, but there's no evidence for it. It's just completely out of nowhere, and so it completely breaks the plot, the immersion, everything. Because with a whodunit, the whole point of a mystery of any kind is that the player can figure it out. If the player can't figure it out, you've basically failed the mystery. Also, yeah, I agree, Mav. They should have made him into a werewolf. Though really, that's just because, like I said, I've played League of Legends. I don't think the name Warwick... oh my fucking god, I hate mages. I don't think the name Warwick actually has any wolf connotations, naturally. Oh my god. Juggle and stun locks! Super fun game design! Okay, now, Pi, don't be mean to Shyamalan. At least his movies are entertainingly bad. You can't say that about Moonbrooke. Now that I'm not actually in the crossfire of 3 different mages that are trying to stunlock me, this is going a little bit better. Everybody should be fine, so I want to get my licks in here. They really do. No high five, no Malroth getting stronger. It's just really not the same. High fives, nods. The fact that Malroth is not here just makes it feel bland and empty, okay? I can't hit him anymore. Interesting. So Warwick is the one who broke out of the illusion first, but because we hadn't rung the Builder's Bell, the king and everyone else was still very firmly set in their ways. So yeah, Warwick has been the traitor since before we ever even came to Moonbrooke. Also, the other reason that Warwick's blatantly suspicious is he's the only person who's wearing a different set of armor. Like, that's not unique to him. Anessa's outfit is unique to her, but literally every other soldier in the castle wears the guard uniform except him. He wears chainmail. Which is a really bizarre design decision. I don't know why they did that. Because it makes him kind of stand out more. So either you immediately guess that it was him, or you just think that they made yet another mistake making the chapter. Well, I'll give Warwick credit. At least he actually had the Hargon beliefs. Like, it wasn't imposed on him. He actually did genuinely believe it, and even if it's wrong and terrible, I can respect that level of belief. Yeah, like, if this had been like maybe a little kiddie game or something, then I would believe it was Anessa, but they're just making it so obvious that she would be the option that it just can't be her. If the game is trying to keep a thing of mystery, then when you push, let me rephrase that. If you try to make a mystery of any kind, if you push a specific person that hard, make them that obvious of the choice, it's never gonna be them. Because if somebody is actually putting in effort to make a mystery, they're not gonna make it the person who's obvious. The person who's obvious is a red herring. I mean, like, I wouldn't say it has to be Warwick, because there's no real indication that it had to be Warwick, because yeah, he's pushing for her, but she's so blatantly, obviously untrustable that at least the NPCs pushing for her makes sense. The reason it doesn't make sense in her actually being the traitor is because from a narrative standpoint, that's just so obvious no developer would go for it, because they wouldn't make a mystery in that case. It is mostly though that he has really the major plot participation The fact he looks different. But again, I hold to the fact that there's no foreshadowing for this because the writing in Moonbrooke is so god-awful. Anything that they tried to do for foreshadowing just comes off as crappy writing. So either you peg Warwick immediately or you never really get him. I don't think I've ever seen anybody who was middle ground. Like, no, I don't think anybody ever, like, figured it out partway through the story that it was Warwick. Either they figured it out immediately before that fight when he turned coat, they figured it out at the very beginning of the game, or they didn't figure it out until he actually got called out. I've never seen anybody actually naturally figure it out. I know, I'm almost done. I'm almost done. Also, look here and notice that the warp point for Moonbrooke Castle is way back here. There is a reason for that. And that's the reason. People are absolutely wrecking the castle. If it was Jerome, that would have been so much better. Because Warwick actually was likable. Jerome, Anessa literally just talked about this. Shut up! Oh, it was starting the wave, I guess. Also, this is interesting. Get the king teleport over here! So, fun little fact, these things can only spawn on solid ground. So when I made my pit, when I played through this, when I came back, they had actually completely destroyed a path up to the throne room. Because they spawned behind the pit. Right directly behind the gate, in fact. So they were just in the middle of the castle when I actually got back. Yeah, you're right, it's 6. 6 bosses in 1 chapter. What? What are you doing? Go fight! Why are you just... Oh my god. Go fight the thing directly 1 foot in front of you! What are you doing? No, really, what? What are they doing? Why are they stuck here? Oh my god, the fighting in this game is so terrible. Did they get unstuck? They got unstuck, okay. Oh no, I've had that happen before! That's not new. I've had that happen before, just not in that particular way. Also, that's a lot of crap to fix. Also, I take back all the crap I spoke about this standard. I keep forgetting it's actually good because you get it in the midst of the absolute low point where every single solitary thing in the game is miserable. He's dead instead of Jerome, which is a real darn shame. There's a pun in his name? Can you come, not you. Can you come here? Oh, that is incredibly subtle. I think the actual best part about that is, not only is that a subtle pun, it's an actual name. So it's even more subtle. So, here is the problem with Anessa. She is actually a pretty cool character. She's a pretty sweet person and I like her a lot. The problem is, this is the point where you actually see who Anessa really is. Everything before this point has been Anessa putting on an act. And there actually was foreshadowing for this one, I will say. So, Anessa's actually acting like her real self from now on. But the problem is, this is so late in the chapter, and recall, they basically become non-existent after the very short interlude, that we get no time to actually bond with Anessa as she really is. And I'm not saying... And I do like her. I do think she's sweet, but I don't have any emotional connection with her like I do with Babs, or Doogie, or Digby, or Rosie, even Bonzo. Because there's just no time. If someone spends a lot of time being antagonistic, you kinda need a good amount of time for them to build the bond back up, and that's not gonna happen with Anessa. It doesn't bother me. Yeah, there's also that you don't want to bond with Anessa because you're just miserable and frustrated because of all the crap this chapter's thrown at you. For me, it is enough that Anessa acting like her true self, I can like her, but I really do not feel any connection to her. The game just doesn't give you the time to build it. Also, the king's actually being smart for once and taking you away from his people when he's trying to tell you a secret. So this looks really goofy because I still have the banner out. This is one of the reasons I actually like the king. So yeah, the builder's not from this illusion. We're actually from the real world. that he said that he didn't know of any princess because she was not copied into this world since the Scion was supposed to be tricked by this world. But the builder is from the real world. Which brings a lot of questions of... Well, that. Why did we come here from the real world? How did we get here from the real world? Though considering what we heard at the very beginning of the game with the voice, how we were a builder and we would do well. Maybe the voice was the one who brought us in, specifically to stoke the fires in Malroth to try to return him to how he really was. So now we just wait for them to get off their butts and actually finish the third cannon. Hang on a second. This is almost perfectly flush with the second floor. That's actually kind of cool. That's actually pretty neat. Huh. Also, I have an unfortunate thing to report that as far as we can tell, Lulu is also from the real world somehow. At least that's what I always assumed. Pretty sure something says that. I think I actually need to place the power one where I am. Yeah, go ahead and tell us. It's not like it matters. I just seem to remember thinking that Lulu was from the real world. Also, you only figure this out from a post-game conversation with Malroth. Yep. But I believe the builder is from Cannock? It's something starting with a C, but I can't remember what the town's name is. Cantlin! That's it, thank you. I believe that is also an actual city in Dragon Quest Builders 2. But I don't recall. Still expect Malroth to run up and high-five me, and I'm sad when that doesn't happen. Do you not visit it in 2? This is part of the reason why I like Inessa. She just blatantly apologizes. Like, no, I'm sorry, but, or I'm sorry, this was important for me to do, or even the non-apology, I'm sorry you got hurt. Just a straight, blatant, I'm sorry I did the thing. That makes it seem like it's not in 2 purely because they just didn't have the space to put it down or something. Because if we're from Cantlin, but we're talking about, like, Moonbrooke and the Princess, we clearly... Oh, it is the case! Did they confirm that? Yeah, the original Builders was in universe. Like, it wasn't in any kind of separate world or anything. It was basically a what-if scenario if the hero had accepted the Dragon Lord's offer at the end of Dragon Quest 1. Ah, okay. So they had to cut out some things here and there to make that work, and since Cantlin wasn't actually an important place, they had to cut that out. But in the actual, like, universe rules, it did exist. All of Alifgard existed. You just couldn't visit all of it in 2. It took Esther a while to get up here. Also, notice, even though we revealed the traitor, we haven't actually asked about Malroth getting out. Like, I get the whole illusion thing was a major shock, but I would still think I would be focused on my best friend still being imprisoned. Like, yeah, this is a horrible shock, but I wouldn't forget about the fact that I'm completely alone when I was barely alone ever for the past few months. And yet the Builder hasn't asked about it yet. Actually, you know what? I've never tried to go down to the cell. Once I got to this point, I wonder what happens if I try. Same thing happened always. Alright. Well, there's literally nothing to be done but to wait for the cannon to finish then. I'm gonna eat a little bit while waiting for it. Uh, did Anessa just face through the wall? But this place is an illusion created by Hargon. Were any of these people actually born? Or do they just have false memories of being born? It's also a question we'll never actually get the answer to because we never get any details about this place. Again, Anessa's kind of a sweetie. She really feels terrible about it. Also, can we have the key? Can we get Malroth out now, please? The person that the builder has massively out of character forgot. Also, yes, you told us this already. But then everybody would be shallow, not just Moonbrooke. It's actually pretty clear, at least to me, that the people aren't necessarily crafted by Hargon. It seems like they were all just sort of created. Like, he copied life and then dropped it into his illusion, and what happened is what we see here. Because if he crafted all of them, then we wouldn't have people who did want to build, I would think. Yes, good! Can I have the key now? Also, we are coming up on another major bit of out-of-character writing for the builder. But at least this will be the last one. Excuse me, sorry. Let out my husband! Finally! Oh god, even the builder's upset now! So it was actually Warwick who threw Malroth into the dungeon, which is another reason why a major thing I hated about Anessa got taken away, because despite the fact they didn't get along, she never wanted to see him actually restrained. She was just kind of trying to deal with it. So she's completely blameless in this. Well, maybe not completely, she does have a good point there. But basically, Anessa didn't, like, actively attempt to do anything to hurt us. She did passively allow it, but that's a crime basically everybody has here, so... And here comes the last bit of terrible writing for the builder. Open the door. Talk to Malroth. He's rightfully upset. And here's the out of character part. Why would you say that? What in the world would make you say that? No person who actually had any kind of bond with anybody would say something like this. They would say, Annette, they finally gave me the key, or we found War at work was the traitor and they misjudged you, so they want to let you out and apologize, or I'm so happy to see you, or are you okay? Or there's like tons of other things you could say. This is not what any person who actually feels emotions for other people would say. Your friend has been imprisoned wrongly for all this time. You have been completely shunted every time you try to get him out, and when you actually get him out, the first thing you say is, oh, we built the cannon, now we can fight the thing. Huh? It's just, it makes absolutely no sense for any character who has any kind of bond with anyone. And it's clearly just forced to make Malroth madder at you, which isn't required at all. It would have been very easy to have the builder talk to him, express sympathy, and then when Atlas beats down the doors, tell Malroth, okay, we need help to fight Atlas. Because he's been manipulated this whole time, so that could turn into, well, did she actually care about me, or was she lying and only let me out to fight Atlas? Yeah, all of that as well. Like, this wasn't necessary. It's just... like, they didn't... Again, it's just such terrible out-of-character writing. This isn't even out of... like, I don't even know if I can call this out-of-character writing, because it's out of common sense writing. Nobody would say that. That's not a thing that any person would say. It doesn't fit any character except the character who is actually using someone as a tool, and it's so dumb. It's almost as offensive as Malroth getting shoved into the jail in the first place. And it's just, it really isn't necessary because he's being actively manipulated. We'll see this in another line after the fight, but his mind is actively still being taken over. He could still be unreasonably angry with us without the builder doing anything wrong. Like, you wouldn't even have to change the majority of Malroth's writing. I mean, you would have to tweak it, but he could still believe this easily with the manipulation and the twisting in his head. You didn't need to further wreck the builder's character by writing something only a psychopath would do. Like, even when this is supposed to be, like, heartbreaking and saddening and make you super worry about Malroth, but even when I first played this game, I wasn't sad. I was angry because I was angry because the bad writing is what brought this about. Like, the whole thing is, it's supposed to be emotional that something is clearly wrong with Malroth and he's misinterpreted your actions and taken them to an extreme. But it doesn't feel like that's the case. It feels like, well, Malroth rightfully hates you because the writing made you do a bunch of things that were massively out of character that you would never do. You can't get emotionally invested when that happens. You just can't. That's not how it works. Yeah, see? The builder could have come in and said, Malroth, we're worried about you. Are you okay? You could have had kind of a chat that he could have asked about Atlas, like, oh, did you let me out so that I could help you find Atlas? And the builder could say, look, well, we need your help to fight him, but, and then that could have easily led into it without wrecking the builder. I'm just, It's like when he first got imprisoned. I just have so many angry feelings right now about all of this. Everything about this is wrong. Everything about this is so poorly written and wrong. You try to talk to Malroth again, he just dismisses you. Thank frick for that. Then we have the interlude to do, which is at least not actively offensive. That's about the best I can say for it. It's probably better than that, but right now I don't care enough to actually try to think. Then after the interlude is the final chapter, which is actually good.
Hey!
What? Well, to be fair, he's not so much acting out of character as acting rightfully hurt. It's just he's acting rightfully hurt at the wrong person. He should be mad at the writers of this chapter because they did such a piss poor job. This final fight's actually kind of fun because you get to use the Kazapple cannon. It's not fantastic, but it's not as bad as the forces, I guess. But again, whatever enjoyment comes from this is kind of tarnished by the fact that you basically, like, if we assume that Malroth getting imprisoned hit rock bottom of the shitty writing, this particular instant has taken a drill and tunneled to the center of the earth and then knocked you down into that hole. Yeah, I seem to recall that, but I stand by the fact that it's not actively offensive, which is better than I can say for the actual chapter. Also, I'm just gonna save you the grief of figuring it out because the game tries to make you. You need to shoot Atlas in the eye. If you don't shoot him in the eye, the cannon is completely ineffective. And yes, if you miss or anything, you have to sit and wait while the cannon recharges. Also, you have to press B to A lot of the cannon. And that's not strange. Atlas will in fact do that sometimes. There's nothing you can do about it. Just shoot his hand and then go back to the cannon. It's just a way to make the fight drag out even longer. That's because you can't actually warp down. I forgot about that. The good news is when the cannon is recharged, it will actually warp you to the top of the cannon, so you don't have to climb it every time. Seriously, I take back every bad thing I said about this banner. And yes, these waves are actually unending while you wait for the cannon to charge. Even though it says 40, I'm pretty sure if you go over the 40, he'll just cycle back and send more. Cannon also takes forever to charge. Because that's fun. Oh, it is? Huh. Yeah, see, he'll just resummon them. I actually didn't know that. But I'm pretty sure that's because I've never bothered to pay even the slightest bit of attention to anything specific about this fight. Because every single time I've done this, when I got to this point, I'm just like, I don't care, I want it to be done, I want it to be over. Just shoot the cannon and hope he doesn't block it. What is even hitting me? Oh! The ones above me are hitting me. Okay. I was very confused for a second. Now I should get the alert that the cannon is charged? Ah, alright. Forgot about that. That's why it teleports you straight to the Kazapple cannon, I guess, because it won't let you leave otherwise. Guys? There's a monster right here. You want to do something about that, maybe? Also, notice that Malroth doesn't have his usual charge. Remember how Malroth would do that kind of aura thing every time he fought? He doesn't do that anymore. And yes, that means you cannot use the co-op de Gras in this fight. He is affected by the banner, that's what his actual blow was, though. It feels like Malroth is a lot weaker because of that in this fight, though I could be wrong. Jump over Atlas's attacks. Nah. Well, I mean, I think he specifically, like, his attack power gets dropped. Whee! Stab him in the foot! That's not stab. Please let me put the sword on. His eye has a really wide hitbox if you're worried. I think you can hit pretty much anywhere the eye would be, because I've hit the eyelid before and it still worked. Also, considering all of that did half health, I'm pretty sure we only need to hit once more with cannon. Also, I wasn't talking about the— oh, hello! Okay, Atlas is getting a bit mean. I wasn't talking about them charging Maverick. There were some that were like on the other side of the gate while there was a monster behind everybody. Also, yes, Atlas's little waves are basically impossible to see when everybody is in the big old thick melee like this. Yeah. That time I have no excuse. That time I just wasn't paying attention. Like, Atlas actually helping his troops out isn't a bad idea, it's just not good that you can't see anything and there's no actual tells to the waves itself besides that. Like, you can see the tell in the background when he sends the wave, but when the wave is sent and when it actually gets to you are two completely different things. Are they? Are they heading? Whoa! Hello! This is new. This is not the ground wave. Probably direct that away from the actual defenses we're using to fight with. That was an interesting hitbox. That's not a bad plan, I'm just always terrified that they're gonna break the entire base and then I'll lose if I do that. Considering the AI is not the most competent in this game. Atlas is dead? Yes, only takes 2 shots, which is good because my lord, this fight is tedious enough without having to do 3. Okay, that's a good point, bye. If nobody can get into the castle, I guess it's not actually much of a worry. Honestly, I probably should have drawn him into wrecking the rest of the castle as well, just out of pure spite. Especially because I knew he was going to die from the second shot, so I wasn't going to need those defenses or anything. I repeat, Ines is actually really cute. Before I talk to the king, I usually come out here to grab all the defenses. You don't technically need to, but they'll suggest you do this, since it's not like you're gonna need them here anymore. I don't tend to take the spikes because with infinite iron ore, spikes are a dime a dozen to actually make, and I'm pretty sure I have like 1,000 iron ingots just from this chapter alone. The mostly only really matters to take the stuff that actually requires some work to create, like the sizz traps. A little whoosh thing. I can do this now. What am I doing? Why am I doing this one at a time? Oh, I'm doing that either, but I think I just have like a taste for spiteful destruction right now. There will be spiteful destruction, just not at this exact moment. No, that's gonna be when we come back with bombs, level the whole castle, and then fill what's not leveled with poison. Okay, that's all the hard to make stuff, so let's go actually talk to the king. So yeah, if you try to talk to Malroth, he's still being hostile. Oh yes, thank you for the reminder of the orbs. Use your mind and you're not getting them back. Yeah, I've got nearly 2,000 iron ingots just from this chapter alone, so I think we're gonna be good on spike traps. Battlefield Earth, okay. Go ahead and... well... fine. The children of Hargon sent another Atlas. I'm gonna stand here cheering for Atlas to break everything. That's what I'm gonna do. King was down in the basement. Come here, you old fart. Oh yeah, I should probably update my field as well. That's up here, I think. Yeah. We'll wait for that for a little bit. While we wait for that, I'm taking everything that is even slightly valuable. Guess what? It's mine now. Actually, don't care about the table and the crockeries. You can keep that. I'm taking this because screw you. You don't get to pray to the goddess. You don't deserve it. I'm already... Whatever, they can keep the rest, I don't care. Mostly it's just laziness, because I don't want to have a bunch of stuff I need to delete. I will take all of this, though. This is all mine. Where did the shield go in this mess? There you are. Okay, let's just put everything away. I'll sort it all before we go. Yes. Esther will get a good chapel on the Eye of Awakening. Chapel that I actually put work into. Just not necessarily right away. Okay, I feel like hookers in a chapel is probably not the best way to go about things. That'd be pretty cool. I wouldn't mind making like an outside chapel though, because I made it outside the castle, then I could really kind of go whole hog on it. I'm pretty sure we're not smiling, Kingy. Wait, where did all these people come from? I guess that's meant to imply they've all been like hiding underground? Yay! Who cares? Like for the why do we never see them again? I wouldn't want to see them in the first place. They're just lucky they have somewhere else to live besides the castle, because it's not going to be livable in anymore after I'm done with it. Oh, shut up, Hayden. Nobody likes you. With what food? He is down over there. You can see him if you look real careful. Also, I have a lot of trouble with the windbreaker. Sometimes it just flat out will not deploy. You have to really press the A button. Here's what I meant when I said that Malroth was still being mentally affected. So he could have very easily just not completely wrecked the builder and still had the same result. No, I think it's just the game requires you to firmly press the A button, but for most games I tend to just kind of lightly tap it. It might also be that there's like a section of your jump that you can't actually deploy it, and you usually tap A exactly on that frame, and so it didn't quite work. Also, yeah, play the happy music over this. That's fantastic scene design. A+ work. Gold star. Malroth's... Has it just been sitting here since I gave him that big old club? I guess I forgot to pick that up. What do you think, Jeremiah? I see why you hate him now, Pi. Actually, I only made about half of these. Okay, my fill of fireworks is none, so... Where is Anessa? She is actually way over there on the end. Oh yeah, you can dye fire... Well, okay, I'll go ahead and show off how the fireworks work. So you load a firework into the cannon, you launch it, and it fires. It makes a little star. As it said, they can be dyed, and what you're seeing right now is what happens when they're dyed. They launch in different colors. It's pretty fun, but only for if you're actually doing like a fireworks show. Also, I still gotta get the other mini medals around here, but at least that's not quite as annoying. Well, it's not annoying, I like mini medal puzzles, but it doesn't involve plot, so... Yeah, let's get this over with. A train. It unlocks a pair of minecarts, one of which is a train car and one of which is an actual train. Also, it's so sad because you know Malroth would have normally loved these fireworks, and he doesn't get a chance to actually enjoy them. I mean, it's things exploding in the sky! Why would he not love that? That's the other reason I like Anessa. She actually, her real self is actually very caring and, well, I've already said caring and nice and all that. A word I can't really think of. Perceptive, I believe, is what I mean. Pretty much. Notice how the builder's not even watching the fireworks. I don't care. I want Malroth. No, Inessa, it wasn't. Oh, I'm gonna take Malroth to the real world and let all you die. Like, Esther, you can come, and Digby and Doogie and Babs can all come, and Den can come too, so can Rosie and Bonzo and Perry. Basically, everybody not from Moonbrooke is welcome to come. Well, good for you, Inessa. Yeah, Lulu, I'll just tell Lulu that they want to make her the queen of Moonbrooke, and then when she leaves, we'll all go back to the real world. We need to find another boat except for Bronzebeard, though, because I'm taking Bronzebeard with me. I like him. This still makes me so sad because I love the name Moonbrooke. I really do. And the idea of loyal Moonbrooke soldiers, just by the name alone, I really like, but I can't like any of this because of how god-awful this chapter is. Yes, Brownbeard. Also, I think you're actually fully correct, Pi. I'm fairly certain it was Sean. Malroth didn't say anything. Okay. I actually think I'm pretty much the same way, Pi. Just, Jerome's a weirdo. No, I haven't, actually. Okay, this is adorable. Esther apparently really likes us and she wants to high-five us. That's weird. Also, the funny thing about that, Maverick, is that's not actually entirely fitting. If it was 11, I know more about 11 than you do. So in that case, I would actually be properly teaching you. But I get what you mean. I know, never mind. I'm actually going to do a mechanic spoiler right here. When we finish the game, we get the ability to send people back to their island, and I am going to guarantee you everybody but Anessa and Esther is getting sent right back here after I blow up the castle, so there's nothing left for anybody. Oh, and flood it with poison, because I'm going to do that too. Yes! Oh god, I love that song so much. Had me at hello, then you opened up your mouth, and that is when it started going south. Also, you can bring everybody who didn't come from the island to the Isle of Awakening if you actually want to. Don't know if I'm going to do that. I haven't quite decided how I want to handle the NPCs on the Isle of Awakening this time. I kind of wanted to fill it with like viewer NPCs, where they pick a gender, a class, and then a name, but I haven't actually had any real submissions for those on Discord yet, so I'm kind of like, Okay, who am I missing talking to? I know it's Jeremiah. Zara was the last one. Oh, thank you! I really love singing, I've just never found anywhere or any reason to seriously do it, which is kind of sad, but... Oh, by all means! Okay, so is anybody else getting, like, shades of Zara and Esther kind of wanting to... It kind of feels like they have crushes on us. Is that just me? You know what I think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna blow up the whole castle, but I'm gonna leave the throne room intact and put in a bed in there for the king. He's the only person who gets to keep anything of his place. Yeah, I think the thing with the king is that it kind of gets lost in the terrible writing. But the king is supposed to be someone you dislike first, because he is a dislikable character first. But when he gets his memories back with the bell, he actually becomes a person that's pretty likable. We have no choice, Jeremiah. I wouldn't take you if we did. You. Also, one thing I find, I guess one reason I like Anessa is that she has two of the cutest post-game conversations I can think of. And, shocking everybody, I'm sure, they are in fact about Malroth. Okay. So let's see about mini medals. I wish, but we're not quite there just yet. Pardon me. Ow. If we get the mini medals first, then we legitimately can leave forever. We don't have to ever actually come back here. Where was the shrine up here? It was over here. And it reset itself when I left. Or the snow just hasn't fallen yet? Yeah, that appears to be the problem. The snow just hasn't fallen yet. I actually kind of expected that to take longer. Alright, let's see. Okay. One more mini medal down. That is... where are we? Yeah, that was this one. Hey, and there's one, like, way in the mountains. Right there, actually. I think I got close enough to mark that. Luckily there's a quick way to ascend. Also, I just realized Malroth's animations have changed. He's constantly looking down. I didn't notice that before. Ah, Rinder Arc, the laggy place. I don't know why it's so laggy all of a sudden. Okay. Go north. I could have, but that's been a little finicky for me lately. The brick pillar up is a bit more consistent. Oh yes, God forbid I just spoil anything on Moonbrooke. Hello, Framerate. How are you doing today? Over here somewhere. Southeast from where? Oh, I see it. Oh god, it's another snow collecting one. Why? Why have they done this? I'm pretty sure the NPCs have just— yeah, they tracked through the snow. To be fair, I didn't do that. It was NPCs who did that, not me. Alright. That is the mountain one. Next, we're going back to Dunnan. I can see it right there on the minimap. It's also because I broke the snow on the roof as well. So it piles up on the roof before it ever will pile up on, through the holes in the floor. I keep clearing my throat. I can break the ice. Must mean it doesn't want the ice to be in here. Is there just another water fill one? No one cares, Zara. I'm sure this isn't water, it's poison, but good enough, right? Apparently it is in fact good enough. So that one's done, and then I actually have that one marked. Let's go get that one. I'll be honest, I didn't think it was gonna count either, but I wasn't gonna, like, go get water. Let's just climb up here. That's so high I'm above the snowstorm. Oh yeah, there's a dragon down there. Actually, since the mini metal shrine's right here. I thought this was a mini. What is this? Yeah, this is a shrine. Apparently I was right. The red ones only have a very specific height they can send you to. Well, the green ones send you indefinitely higher. I mean, not necessarily indefinitely, but you can get higher and higher using them. Also, I apologize for anybody who this is actually making sick. I need this, so I'm taking it with me. Yeah, I guessed right. So there are actually enemies on every island that when you kill them they give you a recipe. I don't remember how many there are, but that dragon's one of them. Well, we got basically an army here. We're gonna go fight it. It would honestly be better if I found every single one of these in Moonbrooke and fought them with this big ol' army, but... Dear God, I don't want to. I just want to leave. Come on, guys, kill it! You can't hit me while I'm behind it! Not unless it uses that attack. Hayden's bravely acting as bait. Oh, get away from it. This is actually working better than inspiring them, just stabbing it in the butt. And it's dead! I've actually hit the max I can be. Oh, here is the armor you were wondering about, Pi. The tectonic plate? This is where it came from. We got that mini metal. was right here. Yeah. So next there's one north of Moonbrooke Castle that I missed. Actually, I think I've already done this mini metal shrine, but we're gonna run over it just to check to be sure. I believe it was actually this one right here, which I hit when we first came here looking for magic crystals. Yep, that was it. Okay. Oh, back to Moonbrooke again. Because one of these is south and one of these is eastish. I feel like everyone is so very confused right now. Probably could have come at this from a better way, but whatever. It's up here somewhere, because I saw it marked on the map. There it is! Hey, I got it right. There's that one. And then the final one is just walk east. That one I find kind of tricky because it has the candle in front of the backwards facing goddess statue, so you might think, it's like, well, can I move? You might not think that you can pick that up. And this is one we've already done as well, I'm almost certain. Yep. So that is every single mini medal and treasure here as well. Cleared out! Yeah, these are something. Time to go home, cry, and flip off all the soldiers. I'm gonna make that tectonic plate though, because I think it's better than what I'm wearing. The magic armor specifically dampens 2 types of attacks. But I prefer having less defense that works against everything versus more defense that only works against 2 things. thing that makes me actually like the king is because he did try to genuinely plead with Malroth to lay all the blame on them, that none of it was my fault. Also, that's actually kind of chilling. Ugh. Also, one thing that kind of bothers me is that you can rename the Isle of Awakening from the moment you get the registry, or the register, but it'll still just call it the Isle of Awakening and everything. It only ever changes the name in like very minuscule things. Like Malroth's even been surly on the deck of the ship. Adventures. More like misery, quite frankly. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a comment or hitting the like button to help with the YouTube algorithm. If you want to know when new videos are posted, subscribe and hit the bell. I hope to see you around!